Investigators say 6 men were running enough fentanyl to kill everyone who lives in Suffolk County.
Busted a drug operation that had enough fentanyl to kill all 1.5 million people who live in Suffolk County.
Prosecutors say the suspects had enough fentanyl to kill every single resident in Suffolk County, Long Island.
The FBI has just executed one of the largest narcotics operations in New York history, seizing enough fentanyl to kill 5 million people and dismantling a powerful drug distribution network that stretched from the Bronx all the way to Long Island's East End. This massive joint operation, led by the FBI, DEA, and NYPD, targeted a highly organized cartel supply chain that had been trafficking fentanyl, heroin, and cocaine into suburban neighborhoods. In total, 6 suspects were arrested, and investigators uncovered multiple stash houses built specifically for bulk drug packaging and weapons storage. Authorities say the significance of this takedown cannot be overstated. In Mexico, more than 100,000 civilians have been murdered or disappeared at the hands of these same cartels. As one federal official declared, the U.S. government is now prepared to deploy every available resource, from special operations forces to cyber warfare, to dismantle these criminal empires and their infrastructure once and for all. It's enough fentanyl to kill every one of the 15 million residents of Suffolk County, said DEA Special Agent Frank Tarantino. This isn't a street-level bust. This is a full-blown cartel supply chain buried inside New York's residential neighborhoods. The impact of the operation goes far beyond the arrests. It effectively dismantled a logistics network that officials warn could have flooded the region with a lethal wave of synthetic opioids. Investigators traced the drug pipeline directly to Mexican cartels, including the CJNG and Sinaloa, both known for their global trafficking reach. From Bronx stash houses to Long Island's suburban hubs, agents identified a web of suppliers moving drugs through a modernized distribution system. It wasn't back alley deals anymore. This was the 21st century drug trade, an ecosystem driven by encrypted messages, social media transactions, cash apps, and door-to-door deliveries. This isn't corner dealing anymore, said one agent. It's a digital narcotics empire, an e-commerce business built on poison. Dealers used fake online storefronts to sell counterfeit oxycodone pills laced with fentanyl, routing payments through encrypted wallets to stay invisible. The investigation tracked drug movements from the Bronx into Bayshore, West Islip, Lindenhurst, and Wyandanch, revealing an advanced system of local hubs. The drugs that reached Long Island originated directly from Mexican cartels, investigators confirmed. Each stash house was used for cutting, storing, and distributing shipments under cartel supervision. Every site was fortified. Reinforced doors, coded entry systems, and live surveillance cameras, all classic hallmarks of cartel logistics. On October 30th, federal task forces launched simultaneous raids across all 5 target locations. In Wyandanch, agents discovered 3 kilograms of fentanyl, 5 kilograms of heroin, 1 kilogram of cocaine, and 2,000 counterfeit fentanyl pills. One suspect was found asleep beside a loaded handgun and open drug bags, a chilling snapshot of daily life inside these fortified houses. In Bayshore, officers uncovered 600 grams of cocaine hidden inside a scooter, along with 7 high-capacity magazines and a loaded Glock pistol stashed in a Dodge Durango. The West Islip raid yielded additional heroin, cocaine, and bundles of cash. Meanwhile, the Bronx location operated as the financial nerve center, equipped with a money counter, $10,000 in small bills, and industrial-grade packaging equipment used for cartel-level processing. By the end of the day, agents had seized over 10 kilograms of narcotics, multiple firearms, and evidence directly linking the group to Mexican cartel intermediaries. This case proves what we've been warning for years, said an NYPD narcotics commander. The cartel doesn't just send drugs into our cities, it sends systems. And today, one of those systems has been torn apart. Inside one Long Island residence, investigators uncovered what they called a miniature cartel command post. Walls were lined with plastic-wrapped bricks of narcotics, digital scales, and chemical residue scattered across the floors. Nearby sat 3 kilograms of fentanyl, 5 kilograms of heroin, 1 kilogram of cocaine, a handgun, and a digital money counter. The DEA later calculated that the fentanyl alone had enough potency to kill 5 million people, highlighting just how devastating this single network could have been. In Bayshore, officers seized 600 grams of cocaine hidden in a modified scooter, 7 high-capacity magazines, and a Glock 9mm. At the West Islip site, agents found even more narcotics and cash bundles. While the Bronx stash house held cartel-grade materials, money counters, and packaging tools used for distribution, federal authorities revealed that each property played a specialized role within the operation. One for cutting, one for pressing, one for storage, and one for distribution. Together, these houses formed a complete narcotics ecosystem capable of supplying the entire Long Island corridor. The recovered weapons and tactical gear painted a darker picture of the organization's intent. Agents seized 2 Taurus 9mm pistols, a Glock 43X, a Mossberg, .22 rifle, a 20-gauge shotgun, and multiple 50-round drum magazines. Prosecutors noted that the suspects were armed like soldiers, not dealers. These weapons were strategically placed to defend stash rooms and enforce debts owed to the cartel. Many were stolen or modified, and ballistics testing is now underway to determine if they were linked to other violent crimes across New York City. Agents also discovered body armor, tactical vests, and encrypted radios, suggesting that the suspects were prepared for violent encounters with both rival gangs and law enforcement. DEA field analysts later confirmed that the Long Island cell mirrored the structure and discipline of CJNG and Sinaloa enforcers, heavily armed, highly organized, and trained to operate like paramilitary units within U.S. territory. "This isn't random street dealing," one federal agent explained. "This is military-style protection for industrial-level narcotics." Authorities say the group's access to high-powered weapons and cartel-grade equipment reveals the deep domestic infiltration of Mexico's drug empires across the American Northeast. The Long Island fentanyl pipeline takedown was the result of a 6-month undercover operation involving 13 controlled buys, digital intercepts, and surveillance missions carried out by the DEA, FBI, and NYPD joint task forces. During the operation, undercover officers purchased over 7,400 counterfeit oxycodone pills and nearly 3 kilograms of cocaine, together valued at approximately $245,000. Those buys confirmed what agents had long suspected. The suspects were not small-time dealers. They were primary suppliers feeding multiple suburban narcotics markets across the region. Investigators tracked every transaction through Suffolk County, Nassau County, and the Bronx, building a complete intelligence map before moving in on the network. "They were on the verge of expanding statewide," said one senior investigator. "If we'd waited another month, their distribution map would have doubled." In the hours leading up to the raids, surveillance teams observed suspects moving pill presses, sealed duffel bags, and chemical packaging gear between stash houses. A clear sign they knew law enforcement was closing in. Within 24 hours, federal task forces launched their coordinated strikes, arresting all 6 suspects without incident. The defendants, led by Jose Collado, now face more than 40 felony charges, including first-degree narcotic sales, criminal conspiracy, and weapons trafficking. Collado's lieutenants were charged with possession and firearm violations, while 3 others face federal distribution. Counts tied directly to Mexican cartel suppliers operating through the Bronx. Prosecutors confirmed that several defendants are currently under federal indictment review for potential links to cartel, intermediaries trafficking synthetic opioids from border states into the Northeast. "They built a direct bridge between Mexico and Long Island," said one DEA supervisor. Now that bridge is gone, federal authorities have described the Long Island fentanyl pipeline takedown as one of the most consequential narcotics operations in recent New York history, a case that exposes just how deeply embedded Mexican cartel supply lines have become inside American cities and suburbs. DEA Special Agent Frank Tarantino called the bust a direct strike against the new face of cartel logistics: fast, digital, and deadly. He explained that modern drug networks no longer rely on smugglers or border tunnels. Instead, they thrive through encrypted phones, delivery apps, and digital cash transfers that blend into the noise of everyday life. "The cartels don't need tunnels anymore," Tarantino warned. "They're already inside our suburbs." The DEA confirmed that the 6 suspects were moving thousands of counterfeit pills each week, many of them pressed with fentanyl imported from Mexico and disguised as legitimate prescription-grade painkillers. "One pill can kill," an FBI official said, and they were making millions of them. The operation was supervised jointly by the FBI New York Field Office, the NYPD Organized Crime Control Bureau, and the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office under the Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Forces, OCDETF, the same federal framework used to prosecute international cartels. During a press briefing in Riverhead, Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney underscored the human cost of the cartel trade. He noted that every kilogram of fentanyl seized in this case could have produced 500,000 fatal doses. "We're not exaggerating," Tierney said. This operation stopped a death wave before it hit. The DA detailed how the digital fentanyl trade has transformed since 2020. Dealers now advertise through Snapchat, Instagram, and encrypted Telegram groups, delivering pills directly to teenagers who believe they're purchasing legitimate oxycodone. Instead, they receive synthetic poison, potent enough to kill within minutes. Tierney described the Long Island network as a cartel pipeline disguised as a local delivery service, a silent, deadly system operating under the radar of ordinary neighborhoods. At the press conference, families of overdose victims stood beside law enforcement leaders as evidence tables displayed bricks of narcotics, firearms, and stacks of cash, a stark and painful reminder of what's at stake. One mother, Carol Trotter, who lost her 21-year-old son to fentanyl poisoning in 2018, spoke through tears. She said the takedown gave her a glimmer of hope, but not closure. "For everyone they catch," she said, "there's another one waiting to sell." That's why they can't stop fighting. Her words drew silent nods from agents standing behind her, a powerful reminder that this mission is more than enforcement. It's a war for survival in America's neighborhoods. Federal prosecutors confirmed that the investigation has now expanded beyond Long Island, targeting cartel-linked intermediaries operating through Bronx distribution hubs and New Jersey corridors. Digital forensics teams are analyzing phones, laptops, and Cash App transactions, which have already led to new leads connecting the network to CJNG and Sinaloa cartel cells. A Justice Department spokesperson issued a stark warning. "If you move fentanyl in New York, you're working for a cartel, and we will treat you like one." Officials announced that both the DOJ and DEA are ramping up regional operations under Operation Take Back America, a national campaign focused on fentanyl trafficking, weapons recovery, and digital drug distribution. "Every pill seized today," one official said, "is a life saved tomorrow." That's not a slogan, that's a fact. As the final crates of evidence were loaded into federal trucks and the suspects were processed into custody, one agent summed up the atmosphere on the ground with quiet finality. "They thought Long Island was safe territory," he said. "They were wrong.